Hey everyone, this is Lynn Hamilton, your lead instructor at Samson Properties. And in this session, we're going to be talking about your business card and how to turn it into a mini billboard. Stay tuned. We're going to get started in just a moment. Grab a note paper. You're going to want to take some notes. Recording in progress. That is exactly what I always like to hear and what I need to hear so that you all know too that this is in fact being recorded. So with that, we're going to jump right in today to business cards. And I've got some great information to share. I am super excited. So let's not waste any time. Let's get going. So your real estate business card is not just for information. It is actually a tiny marketing tool. And the goal isn't just to hand them out. The goal is to create a card that people will actually want and need to keep. And so we're going to go through some do's and don'ts coming up. So with that, another great one, again, is it's a mini billboard and you want to create the card so it doesn't just tell people who you are, it helps them understand what you do and then why they need the card. So let's go ahead, jump ahead first and dive right on in. All right. First thing first, your business card needs to have the full legal name on it. However it is you are licensed. I know that sometimes people go by nicknames and that's okay, but that can be on the card, but your full legal name needs to be on the card as well. So make sure you've got that on there. Your brokerage information obviously is required by all states to have on there. Now, some states, although we're in the DMV footprint, in case somebody is listening to this from another state, including the state of confusion, you want to check with your state or your brokerage to make sure that you are compliant within the brokerage that you are at, especially if it's other than the DMV footprint here at Samson as well. Some states require the license number to go on a business card as well. Right now, in this DMV footprint, we do not need to have that on there. I know California does, and there's other states that are starting to do it. So the day may come that it's required here as well. Just giving you a heads up on that one. So here is the practical checklist of what needs to go on your business card. And yes, when I download this and post it on my website, which is lynnhamilton.samsonproperties.net, I will also add the handout for reference for you as well. Okay. All right. So your full licensed name, obviously the brokerage firm, your title, let's see, an email address, a phone number, the brokerage address, and any logo or the term realtor or whatever else you want to put on there. The fair housing little, logo icon as well can go on there. If you are using the word realtor on there, make sure that it is capitalized with the little R after the end of it. That R does not stand for realtor. It stands for registered trademark, because the word realtor is only able to be used by those who are actually a member of the National Association of Realtors. So if you go on to referral status and are not a member of NAR, you no longer should be using the term realtor. Now, you can use real estate consultant, real estate professional. There's 50 million other ways you can do it. Now, what I used to do on mine was, I had realtor on there, but then I also had your advocate, your consultant, your PPS. And PPS was in all caps. And it was a great conversation starter because I know you're sitting there going, oh, wait a minute, what's the PPS? PPS is professional problem solver, because that's what we do in the real estate business. I had that on my email signature line, my name badge, my business cards, anything I did in print, anything that went out anywhere had that. Your advocate, your consultant, your PPS. And it was a great conversation starter. So give that one some thought. All right. So what else should and needs to be on your business card? We've talked about the options. Now let's talk about do's of things that you should do to keep your business card from going wrong. The biggest mistake agents make is cramming too much information on a small card. Obviously, the front of your card is your name, your brokerage, phone, email, website, and a potential QR code. Now, the larger readable font is best with plenty of white spaces on there. The reason it's recommended that white space or blank space be on your card as well, because it's easier for the eye to focus. Most business cards, believe it or not, go out to someone who is 40 years old and above. The younger generation will use more of the, tap on the phone or the electronic, and those are all great tools as well. But I thought it was interesting when my research came back with most people over 40 are getting the business card. So you want to make sure, here's a good rule of thumb. If someone can't read your business card at arm's length, then the font is too small or it's too cluttered. You want to be careful when you're selecting a font for your business card as well. Again, you can have something fun, scrolly, font for your name. But when it comes to email address, phone number, keep it sharp, keep it clean. And there's thousands of fonts to be able to choose from. All right, so you want to make it very clear. One of the things that is a great tip to do as well is give them a reason to keep your card. If it's just your information, that's to contact you. And if they're not ready to contact you, it's going to go in their pocket, in their purse, on the floor of the car. They're going to stick it in their purse. I'm going to stick it in mine. And then the next time I'm driving and my gum goes stale and I need to spit it out, I'm reaching into my purse, pulling out the business card and sticking my gum in it. That's why I jokingly and lovingly say, do not make your card gum worthy. And that is unfortunately what most agents end up doing, is making a card that's not effective. It's missing a piece or two. So give them a reason to keep it. So that would look like something like on the back, especially, or even on the front, you can have a basic tagline of, and again, I'm just going to use Northern Virginia as a point of reference, your Northern Virginia home resource, helping first-time home buyers navigate in this footprint. Local marketing update and home value reports available. So again, on the card, you're wanting to give something that they go, ooh, I may need that. I may want that someday. Not, I need it to put my gum in. All right. When it comes to your photo, there's pros and cons on photos. But let me give me the do's and don'ts. First off, it absolutely needs to be a professional photo. It should not be those 1980 glamour shots, ladies, because I know we all look dang good, but they don't look like us anymore. And guys, I don't care how handsome you were during high school or college graduation. If that's the last photo you have, it needs to be updated. Did you know that this is part of consumer protection? In real estate, falls under consumer protection. Your business card having a picture on it should be at least 5 years old or younger. Not you 5 years old or younger, but the photo needs to be current within the last 5 years. Now, if you've gone over a complete makeover, a complete change, hair color and whatever else, update your photo. Consumer protection. The consumer has a right to know who they're dealing with. So by not having your business card on there, that could backfire on you. And yes, in my horror stories, I have seen it where two agents came in for listing appointments. One had neither one had a photo, and they called one of the agents to say, hey, we'd like you to come and list. Well, they mixed them up. There were no photos on the business card. So they called the other agent, and when they showed up, they're like, ooh, this isn't who I thought I called. So little sticky situation there, but it has happened. Now, I get it. Way back when, 100 years ago, when we all started, A lot of times people were leery of putting their business card or their photo on their business card for safety reasons. Gang, this is 2026. Your photo is everywhere anyway. So unless you're in the witness protection program, undercover, your photo, a current one, in fact, needs to go on your business cards. Give it a thumbs up. All right, make sure it's done. Now, here at Samson, we do offer the option of having a photo done from our marketing team and photographers, and you can go schedule to go into Chantilly, or if we're on the road at an HQDU and the photographer is available, they will let you know that the photographer will be coming into that office to get photos done as well. So just keep an eye out for that if you're needing a new photo. It's also a good headshot is also a reminder of who you are, and it is also part of your networking. I got a hair that just fell down. All right, so sorry about that. High quality, well lit, professional, and consider it part of your branding. And yes, if you have to pay to have a headshot done, that is tax deductible because you got it because it was required for the business. So it becomes a tax write-off if you need to. All right, next thing down. QR code. QR code is a digital gateway to the resources that you have available on your website. Now, in some of my previous teachings, I teach how to, first off, get your website up and ready to go. Then how to do a QR code. My favorite, QR Code Monkey. I have no skin in the game. I just love that platform. They are free. You can have as many as you need or want. But in one of the training modules, I actually give you a list of the various QR codes. It's probably a good idea for you to create for your business. You need about 15, 20 minutes. You know, that 18-minute rule thing we used to talk about, 18 minutes, it will change your world. All right, so we'll reference that. So 18 minutes blocked off on your schedule to make sure you've got your photo ready. You've listened to the QR code instructions and go in and knock out. I think there's 7 or 8 that we recommend. Go in and knock them out. Again, first, many of the add-on to your website needs to be done first, but you can also do one directly to your website. You can do one specifically to a page, searching for your next home. You can have a QR code that takes them to that page. You can do a QR code that takes them directly to, curious as to what your home value might be. You can take them directly to that page with a QR code. We show you how to do it, how to grab the URL, create the QR code. What I like about QR Code Monkey is you can, one individual color, you can color gradiate it. You can change the pixels on it, so how it shows up. And you can add a photo in the middle of the QR code, which references to what that page is going to take them to. When you are putting a QR code on any of your marketing material, always, always, always put on there, scan QR code to go to my website /home search, or my website /for reports, my website newsletters, my website, and be specific. The only time that you should probably use a QR code to your testimonial page, which we also recommend you do, and you put your photo in the middle of the QR code, is when you insert it into a buyer or a seller consultation. Because you, in the buyer or seller consultation, you have 1 or 2 quick testimonials, and then we put right in there, I already got it set as the template, scan QR code to see what others have had to say about working with me. You don't need to have 4 pages in your buyer or seller consultation package of testimonials and reviews. Have 1 or 2, then that's where that QR code that goes to that page on your website comes in handy. The last thing you want them to do is to have to go to a website and either then immediately have to sign in or have to search around for what they thought they were going to get to. So be very pinpoint, because the minute that starts, they'll back right out of it and shut it down and won't move any further onto your site. So that's an important piece of the little puzzle. When you are printing your or having your business cards printed, one of the things you want to consider is the paper quality, gloss, no gloss, matte. I mean, there's lots of options, personal preference. Oh, let me go back to QR code real quick. One of the things that you can have is home search, or have it say, website, home search page, or get your home value, or first time buyer's guide. If you've added a tab with a first time buyer guide, you can have a QR code that goes directly to that page for them. So again, your possibilities are endless. The beauty of this is they can go there 24/7 whenever they want, at whatever time they want, without bothering you, because if they've got to call you to get it, they're probably not going to get it because they're not ready to talk to you yet. So just put on there, call me now. Nah, they know they can call you when they're ready. So to use a call me now, please don't ever use that ever again. There you go. All right, so let's move on. What else can we give you for words of wisdom? Adding something useful onto your business card. That would be, again, either a QR code. If you have a mortgage calculator page on your website, now sometimes based off your preferred lender, they will have a page on their site for mortgage calculation. You can add the link onto your website under resources and have a QR code on there to, a mortgage calculation guesstimate. I always say guesstimate or estimate because it's not rock solid. You can have that on there. You can have a moving checklist link. Again, a QR code that's taking them to a added custom page on your website for a moving checklist or a moving prep, 30, 60, 90 days out, 3, 6, 9, 12 months ahead of time. What are the things you need to be doing? All of these things are available at your fingertips. Home maintenance reminders is another great one. We assume that everybody remembers and does all the home maintenance stuff. Yeah, not so much. Especially if they're a first-time home buyer, they're clueless. Now, having a home maintenance quarterly checklist on your website is awesome. I would have it again on, QR code on a business card and label it. Keep the value of your home. Make sure the maintenance is kept up. Because again, they either forget or they don't know. You can also have a neighborhood guide. If you are really developing out a particular footprint, you can do a page on your website that has a neighborhood guide or featured vendors throughout your footprint. Considering moving to Cardinal Terrace, here again, the build out is endless possibilities. All right. You can also have a scan here to get a free home value report. Gang, that is already sitting on your website. If you're with Samson and you have not gone into your own website and looked at the second tab over says sell, what I've done, and I will show you in another video, how to go in and change that to estimation of home value. If you have not done it yourself, that is your homework as soon as we get off this call, is to go in to your website, the sell tab, unless you've changed it, and put your property address in there and see what then comes back as an update and report. I think I've got mine set for quarterly because every quarter I get an email from me to me with the update of my home value. It's a quick, short little email. I click on the button and it brings me up a stat report. Boom. All right. That is a great one to have. The next tip down is match your brand. So business cards should match everything else that you do. So if you are picking a color palette, which we're going to talk about here in a second, you absolutely want to keep that consistent across all digital marketing. You can even adjust the color tabs on your Samson website. If you don't know how to do that, we've got a video training for that. It's a click of a couple buttons and it's easy breezy. You got lots of choices. So you need to think about your color brand, which we'll come down to in just 1 second. Next, do not, unless you fell asleep, I'm going to say it again, do not. These are common mistakes that can make a card go in the trash. All right, first off, you want to avoid listing everything. A lot of times you will put your full alphabet soup on there of all of the credentials you've ever had. Yeah, that's not the place for it. Put it on your website under your bio. And then if you really want or feel you need to have a QR code to go to that, add that into your buyer or your seller consultation. It doesn't necessarily need to be on your business card. When you are using social media, be careful not to list everything that is possible. The Facebook, the Instagram, the LinkedIn, the TikTok, YouTube. Just be careful that you're not putting too much on there as well. Obviously, your cell phone number and your name is front and center. Your email is front and center. The company, the brokerage logo should be on there. The office in which you are affiliated with absolutely needs to be on there as well, but it can be a little bit smaller font at the bottom. I see this all the time. Agents get the template. They put their office information in the primary spot. Nah, it doesn't need to go there. It needs to go at the bottom. Remembering that you do not want to use a frilly font on phone numbers and emails. And remember that most people receiving a business card are over the age of 40. And if they need to have their reading glasses on, it's probably too small. And again, frilly fonts, although look cool, will make it difficult for them to see clearly certain numbers and certain letters, which means they're going to misdial or type in your email address if they're trying to contact you. All right. You need to make sure that you are following your state regulations. I'm saying that just in case somebody other than our Samson footprint is getting a hold of this video. You want to make sure that your brokerage must be clear and visible as a part of advertising compliance. That is not an option. It must be on there. The consumer has a right to know which brokerage you're affiliated with and which office you are affiliated with. Now, for some of our agents who are affiliated in multiple states, including the state of confusion, what is your primary office? Now you can list on there that you're licensed in and list the states, but you want to make sure that your primary brokerage information is on there as well. All right. We've talked about the quality of the card and let's move on. The biggest mistake that is on cards is there is no call to action. Again, your business card is a mini billboard. So what is the call to action that's going to want them to keep that card? The QR code to go to your reports, the QR code to go to various other things. The worst thing, and most cards fail because it's just say, here's my information. It falls flat. It's going to end up in the trash. It's going to end up in the bottom of somebody's purse or their gum in it. Instead, again, we kind of mentioned this, is search for home value, search for your next home, first time buyer's guide. Your possibilities are endless there. All right, we've already talked about what goes on the front, your name, your title, brokerage, absolutely, phone, email, and a clean headshot. What needs to go on the back is a great tagline. I give you two in Jumpstart, a QR code, obviously your website. Now, I would put my website address on there as well as a QR code and your value statement. Now, your value statement and your tagline, wait a minute, pause, I give to you in Jumpstart Session 1. That is the best one on the planet, and everyone should be using it and running with it because it works. And you all are in different footprints. So the probability of somebody coming across somebody else who's using it, little to none. All right. Here is a trick that top agents will often use or do. They will often have two versions of their business card. One geared for buyers and one geared for sellers. The one that's geared for buyers, when you think about a pool of people, you divide them in half. Who are your homeowners? So their next step would be to sell and then to buy. They'd be labeled as sellers. The other pool of people that you know are currently renters. The question, what is their next step? Their next step would be to buy, not to sell because they don't have anything to sell yet. Their next step would be to buy. So a lot of agents, I know I did for a while, I had two cards, one for the buyer side, one for the seller side. I had them in my purse in a cute little card case. They were, had two flaps. So I put one on this and one on the other side. But the bottom line is when I needed to give someone my card, I knew which one to pull. There you go. Now, I have also said multiple times, and I'll say it again, I would rather have most agents give out a newsletter, either that beautiful 4-page one that Samson has, or even the 2-page grab and go. I would much rather have you give out a newsletter than a business card any day of the week. And if you really want to leverage your business card / your newsletters, post them on community bulletin boards. A lot of restaurants have a little community bulletin board, either near the entrance or see if you can post your newsletters there. A little clip to hold 5 of them with a push pin to hold it on the bulletin board. There you go. Just a bonus thought there for you, and moving on. Okay, we've covered all that. Let's talk about color. So as you are building out your marketing footprint, picking a color that ties into what you're doing is absolutely a good thing to do. So let's talk about what some of the colors are. I've got it right here. All right, so color plays a big role that most agents don't realize. Within your 2 to 3 seconds of giving someone a business card, they will decide whether they feel connected to you, whether your business card looks professional, trustworthy, or cheap, and the color can make a big thing. Now, here's another thing I want to share with you. You can give someone a business card by just going here, or you can present it to them. By presenting it to them, facing them upright, it carries a greater sense of importance than just, handing it over. So you want to present a business card, not just go here. There you go. Oh, wait, it landed on the floor. Got to go pick it up. All right. All right. Let's talk about the color. Color choices should communicate trust, stability, professionalism, and approachability. So we're going to go down some color palettes. First off, blue is actually the #1 color used in real estate branding. Why does it work? It's associated with trust and reliability. It feels professional and safe, and it appeals to a wide audience. This is why many brands use it, whether it be banks, insurance company, corporate, there's always a blue in there somewhere. All right. One of the recommendations on my report says the best shades are navy, a deep blue, or a slate blue. A personal preference plays into there as well. Gold. Gold reflects a high-end service or level of success. Now, I will tell you that when you are using gold, yes, it's pretty, but it's also a little trickier when it comes to a QR code because there's not the contrast between the white and the gold yellow color. But also too, if you choose gold on your Samsung website as your accent color, some of the additional pages that pulls that color as a headline, it makes it almost so light you can barely read it. So that would be my flag warning on the gold slash. But it usually is connected to or relays of luxury homes, high-end branding, premium service. There you go. Best used is a foil. If you're going to get a business card and put a little gold on it, if you can get the foil part of the accent, it's really going to stand out. That makes it stronger. Black. Black portrays power, sophistication, and luxury. That is a very, very common color or accent that is used on business cards as well. Green, it reflects growth, home, and stability. So a lot of times green will be used as a reference in especially real estate because it's home, land, nature, financial growth, all that kind of stuff. All right. The next one down is white. It is clean, it is honest, and it is modern. It projects clarity, honesty, professionalism, and organization. So you can have a white card with just an accent or a touch of other color on there based off how you want your branding to go. Bright red. This one kind of surprised me because I know red is used a lot, but here's what my research showed. Bright red, it triggers emotion, often urgency, danger, or pressure. Think of stop signs, think of fire engines, think of a red light. So again, red can be a great accent color, but, and again, part of this just comes down to personal preference as well. It is also recommended that red can feel aggressive. So there you go. Who knew? Neon colors. Neon colors, they say, often feels cheap, gimmicky, or unprofessional. Now, I do know that some agents have used a neon color as just a quick pop in an accent. And some of those look spectacular. But again, it's going to come down to personal preference. Here's some general rules. Too many colors on the card can be a big mistake. A card with 4 to 6 or more colors is going to look chaotic and a little busy. You want to limit to 2 or 3 colors at the max. A general formula for your card is the primary color. You want it trustworthy. The secondary color is an accent and the personalization of it. And a neutral color that creates balance. So you want to think about that. You want to, as you're looking at and determining color, you want to find one that is going to reflect the primary focus of your business. If you're doing high-end stuff, yeah, the black, the gold on a white card, black card, gold on, I mean, it's what you kind of expect. If you're doing, I'm going to say horse farm, You think of green, you think of brown, and that's okay as well. So again, you want to think about now, if you are with Samson in Samson University, I'm going to get the link for it and get it on my site for cross reference. There is a great video. It's 8 minutes and 23 seconds. Go into Cardinal Nest. You can search logo and branding, and it takes you through some do's and don'ts on color and color branding. Okay, so we've talked about that. We've talked about that. We've talked about a lot of stuff. All right. Here's a recap of a couple of mistakes that agents often make on their business cards. First off, too much information. You don't need your alphabet soup on there. You don't need every social media platform that you are on, because if you are on LinkedIn and Facebook, they're probably going to assume you're on the others, or they will ask. It gives great conversation. So if it lists them all on your business card, it's going to create the business card to look too cluttered, right? Remember, the first phone number that you want them to call should be a larger font than the office phone. Mistake I see agents make all the time is they put the office phone number on there. Let me ask you a question. How often are you actually at the office? Legally, it needs to be on there, but it does not to be listed. It should not be listed as the primary point of contact. This is 2026. Everybody knows you got a cell phone. So make sure that is the primary phone number. Again, a little bit bigger font, but for legality, in fact, the office phone number can go down with the office address. That's compliant. That's good. Mistake I've seen is a list of phone numbers, but not in any order of cell, office. Nobody has a fax machine anymore, so that number can come off. Don't have three other phone numbers on there. What is the primary point of contact? That's your cell. All right. Again, make sure the font's not too small. It is recommended that the name on your business card should be in a 14 to 16 point font. Contact information can be 10, 11, or 12 point font. It's still going to be legible and readable if it's needed. First impressions do make a difference if you are presenting somebody your business cards. They should be able to see your name and your phone number and your email right off the bat. Okay? All right. What is the order? The correct order. Obviously, your name, what you do, your contact information, and then your brokerage information. Make sure that your call to action is not call me now, because you're going to get some drunk at 2 o'clock in the morning is going to call you because it said call me now. Yeah, no. You want to send them to a safe, neutral location, your website, to get more information until such point they are actually ready to reach out and talk to you directly. That is the best use of a business card. That is the best tips on a business card. That is the best formatting of a business card. It is, again, not just introducing yourself with your contact information. It is providing them information about the service in which you offer. It is giving them a reason to save and hang on to your business card, because you are providing them links to valuable other resources that you have available for them 24/7. All right, that is the end of my massive pages of notes that I wanted to share with you about creating a better business card. I wish I had stock in business cards, because most of them seriously end up in the trash. I cannot tell you how many times agents have got business cards done and they then end up getting never used. Now, here is my final aha. Proofread your business card. Your spelling. Don't laugh. The company. If you've typed out Samson or your company name, first off, use the logo better. I have seen business cards come through with no agent name on it. I've seen business cards come through with Samson spelt wrong. I've seen business cards come through without Samson or the brokerage even being on it. I've seen business cards come through with a typo in the phone number or a typo in the email address. And never, ever, ever leave the back side of a business card blank. I share that with you in flyers and anything as well. Think about it this way. Your business card is information. It's like a flyer, like a postcard or anything else. You are paying, let's say, for a 30-second commercial. That is your business card. That is your flyer. That is your postcard. It's your contact information, but it's also why they need to hang on to it and look at it. What doesn't happen in a 30-second paid commercial, they don't do the first 15 seconds and then stop, and the last 15 seconds is silent. That is the message that you are conveying if you do not utilize the back of business card, back of postcard, back of flyer, back of anything. Is you are letting valuable marketing billboard space go unutilized. When was the last time you drove down the freeway and saw a billboard off in the distance and it was only half done? Never. That is valuable marketing space. They know you're going Mach speed with your hair on fire at 80 miles an hour. I'm just kidding. Me. Up the freeway. They want the consumer driving past at 70 to be able to see it, grab it, know who the company is, know what their message is, and how to contact them if need be. There you go. Make sure that you are following the same, I'm going to say, guidelines for effective marketing and effective business cards. So with that, I'm going to open it up if there's any questions. If not, this is going to wind down this session of a better business card and turning it into a mini billboard. So have these tips been helpful? Give me a thumbs up, drop a note in the chat box. I'm seeing thumbs popping up all across the screens. Thank you so much. I am glad you are here. Do not waste your money if it's not going to be what you need it to do. And if you want me to take a look at it before you send it to print, by all means, let me know. You can email it to me, but be ready. Because if it's not a punch, I will get back with you and tell you that I'll try to be nice. I got one a couple days ago, or actually it was last week, and I thought, oh, I mean, everything, kind of sort of is on there, but boring looking. And I thought I could keep this for my gum. So again, I'm happy to help you take a look at it. I want to make sure that you are not spending money on a business card that's going to go in the trash. So I'm happy to take a look at them, give you my 2 cents on it. And with that, you'll have a business card that you'll be proud of and you'll be proud to hand out. So there you go, my friends. Go be wonderful. Go be awesome. I don't care what you know. I want to know what you're doing with what
I
you
have
know.
a question.
Yes, go ahead.
All the QR code that you indicated, how do you do that?
Okay, you've not gone through all of Jumpstart yet, because in Jumpstart 1, we introduced QR codes to you, and then we show you in the how-to instructions on my website where to find the instructions to do a QR code. So I'll get with you off screen, off session at another time, and make sure you're up and going
Thank
on your
you.
learning trails. Okay?
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. All right, friends. Appreciate you. I'll see you in the next session of Business Skill Builders or Marketing Mastery. See you in a little bit.
Yeah,
Bye for now.
appreciate it. Good. Thank
Okay.
you.
Class dismissed. See you around.